Hey there, this is Chad Garber. In this video, I'm going to show you how to play Jeremy by Pearl Jam on guitar. Here are the parts. The second part is third part is fourth part is, oh, actually on the third part there's also, sometimes they do this. Alright, the fourth part is fifth part is similar to the third part, but it goes. Alright, and the sixth part is. Okay, and a real quick disclaimer, these are not, like, some of the parts are not exactly what they're doing in the Pearl Jam band per se. Some of them are, but like for the chorus and the chorus and near the end, he's not hitting all the chords. But I'm doing it like if I'm playing it the way I'm showing you how to play it, how I play it. Like if I were to play in a band and I was the only guitar player, this is the way I would play it to make it, you know, sound like the song. Okay, so the first part, and by the way, if you like these videos, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, so first part is you're on the A. And you're gonna do an open A. You're gonna hammer on with your pointer finger on the 5th fret of the A string. Actually, no, you're gonna pick the open A. Then you're gonna pick the 5th fret with you're gonna put your pointer finger on the 5th fret of the A string, but you're gonna pick it down. Then you're gonna hammer on with your ring finger to the 7th fret of the A string. Then you're gonna hit the open A again. And actually, in this part, he's got a clean sound, or not. Maybe not as distorted. It's maybe not clean, but maybe not as distorted as mine is. I just don't feel like changing it. All right, so all right, and then you're gonna pick with your ring finger on the 7th fret of the D string. Then you're going to pick down on the open A again. Then you're going to pick down again on the 5th fret of the D string with your pointer finger. So they're all downstrokes. Does it again. You get to the part where you do the same thing up to your ring fingers on the 5th fret or the 7th fret of the D string. So you know. Actually, so you go to the part where you're do the open A, and then you do this chord. All that is, you put your ring finger on the 7th fret of the D string, you put your middle finger on the 6th fret of the G string, and then you leave the B and the E open. These strokes, just pick that down. Okay, and it does that twice, and then the next part is you're going to do the same part. And this time, instead of going to the instead of putting your ring finger on the 7th fret of the D string, you're going to make this chord. And then you put your pointer finger on the, actually put your pointer finger this time on the 7th fret of the D string, and put your ring finger on the 9th fret of the G string. Do the same part. You just do that one part this time. Alright, and then you go down 2 frets where your pointer finger's on the 5th fret of the D string and your ring finger's on the 7th fret of the G string. And then what I do is I put my pinky on the 7th fret of the G string, and I put my pointer finger on the 4th fret of the D string. Or you could actually use your pinky on the bar chords as well, rather than your ring finger. It depends on whatever you want to do. It actually makes it a little easier when you use your pinky. So what I'm saying is you put your pointer finger on the 7th fret of the D string and your pinky on the 9th fret of the G string, and then you put your pointer finger on the 5th fret of the D string and your pinky on the 7th fret of the G string, and then you put your pointer finger on you slide your pointer finger down to the 4th fret of the D string, and your pinky stays on the 7th fret of the G string. This part, and you just put your pointer finger on the 1st fret or the 5th fret of the D string, and your pinky on the 7th fret of the G string, and slide that up to where your pointer finger's on the 7th fret of the D string, and your ring finger or your pinky is on the 9th fret of the G string again. So, it hits that little, open A there in the middle. There's actually 2 there. You don't really have to hit it. You can do it that way, or you can just go. Still 1 in there. Okay. Whatever feels good. You can't really even hear that note. It's like a ghost note. All right, so. On the way up, he does go. But I do the tabs say to hit that open A twice there. But I do it once, and I think it sounds fine. So it's. So the next part is all going to be power chords, and again, this next part is not exactly how they do it. They hit the chords, but they don't follow the structure like I do it. To me, it just sounds cleaner. You know what I mean? And it's, you could always take away some of the chords I show you, but so all you're doing is put your pointer finger on the 8th fret, 8th fret of the A string, and your ring finger on the 10th fret of the D string. No, I'm sorry. Make that the 12th fret. And then put your pointer finger on the 10th fret of the A string, and your ring finger on the 12th fret of the D string. And then slide it down to where you get. So you go. You end up with your pointer finger on the 8th fret of the A string, and your ring finger on the 10th fret of the D string. And then you go to put your pointer finger on the 5th fret of the A string, and your ring finger on the 7th fret of the D string. Slide that up 2 frets. Put your pointer finger on in other words, you slide up to where your pointer finger's on the 7th fret of the A string, and your ring finger's on the 9th fret of the D string. Then slide up 1 more fret where your pointer finger is on the 8th fret of the A string, and your ring finger is on the 10th fret of the D string. And then just do an open A and put your pointer finger over the second fret of the D string and just hit those two. And then the second time you do it, you start from the same place, and then you go. But instead of going to the 8th fret, instead of sliding just one fret up there from the, so instead of doing that, you go to the third fret of the A string with your pointer finger and your ring fingers on the 5th fret of the D string, and then you go to the A. So it's. The second time around the chorus, they throw this in there too. I think the third time perhaps, he goes, so he goes to that first, your pointer finger on the 10th fret of the A string and your ring finger on the 12th fret of the D string. Instead of sliding down to, he just hits that one twice for some reason. And then he goes into the. Okay, so that's that part. Okay, so the next part is same thing we were doing before. That part's exactly the same as we did at the very beginning, but then he goes. All that is again, first part is open A, pick down with your pointer finger on the 5th fret of the A string, hammer on with your 7th fret to the with your ring finger to the 7th fret of the A string. You hit that open A again. Pick down with your ring finger on the 7th fret of the D string. Open A again, and then you put your open A string, and then you hit your pointer finger on the 5th fret of the D string. Repeat that whole part where you put your open A, put your pointer finger, pick down with your pointer finger on the 5th fret of the A string. Hammer on to the 7th fret of the A string. End up again at the 7th fret of the D string, picking down. This time you go straight back to the A and do another open A, pointer finger, pick down on the 5th fret of the A string, and then a hammer on the 7th fret of the D string, of the A string. In other words, it's the same notes. He's just adding a little different flavor. This time, instead of going to the open A, you put your pointer finger on the 5th fret of the D string. So. Vibrato there if you want to. And the interesting thing, well, they end it, he goes. That's all. He stops right there. He doesn't go back to the second part, and then he just goes. Which is by I think that's what he does. You put your pointer finger over the 7th fret of the D string, and you just pick the open A in that fret. All right, and then he goes to the next part, which is the same thing as the chorus. Okay. But this time he'll go up to that part, and then what he does, he adds, putting your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the A string and your ring finger on the 4th fret of the D string. Alright, so all that is open A. second fret of the, put your pointer finger on the second fret of the A string and your ring finger on the fourth fret of the D string. Slide it up to your pointer finger on the third fret of the A string and your ring finger on the fifth fret of the D string, and then slide it up to your pointer fingers on the fifth fret of the A string and your ring fingers on the seventh fret of the D string. And 2 more frets to where your pointer finger is on the ninth fret of the A string. No, I'm sorry, the 7th fret of the A string, and your ring fingers on the 9th fret of the D string. So actually it was pointer finger on the, basically it's a power chord starting with your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, going to the 3rd fret of the A string, going to the 5th fret of the A string, going to the 7th fret of the A string. I'm not sure if I said that right, okay? So, same thing as a chorus, except for he adds those power chords. Goes back to, okay, and that part is where he goes, ah! He does really cool vocals there, so it's a really important part. Okay, so that whole part is, and I think you might go do one of these after that. Okay, and they do that a couple more times, and then he ends up going. Again, this part, I don't think he's doing power chords. I think they're doing something else. There's a lot of stuff going on, but I can't really make out what he's doing. So I'm just doing the power chords. And all that is putting your pointer finger on the 1st fret of the E string. You put your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. Sliding up to, put your pointer finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, and your ring finger on the 5th fret of the A string. Back to the open A and putting your pointer finger over the 2nd fret of the D string and hitting those two. And muffling with your hand. Okay? And then if you, I'm not going to go through the solos, if you want to just improvise, you can just do an A pentatonic scale for fun. Alright, so that is the guitar lesson. Thank you so much for watching, and again, if you want to, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot, and have a great day jamming with Pearl Jam.